Alright, welcome to my first ever voice recorded video. I figured it would just make sense for the Modpack review to talk a bit about the Modpack and to reveal my voice, I guess. But it's just easier this way. So let's start into the world. I figured the Modpack review would be great because I haven't really said much about the Modpack itself. I only edited the footage and I think I wrote it at the beginning of the pack that I played this last summer, so it has also been a bit of time for me to get to know the pack, to know what I have played and so on. And the plan for this video is to show you the world and also talk about how the channel will progress from now on. As you can see, this is the area where I did all my crafts and where I have my general storage, drawers for all the big stuff and many chests. Also many things I didn't even use because the ancient scrolls, I think they have their usefulness, but I didn't really use them and they wasn't required by the quest book. My goal for the pack was to complete the quest book and also to complete the pack. That's why I have the final star in an item frame. How I got this you can see in the previous videos, but they were not really suitable for using a voiceover because I mainly played the pack and recorded it in the background. And what I have learned in the editing phase is that you have to prepare for the editing. You can't just simply record something and make it look cool in the editing, because something that I struggled with was, for example, finding a good thumbnail. Because sometimes you get the item you want and you just skim over it and going with other things. Now I will look better after that. So, away from the storage room, this is where I got my first alchemistry machines. And just a simple setup here, put the items in, and the items, oh, there's something inside, they come out at the bottom. And as you can see, I mainly used it to boost my EMC system so that I can get my first power flower. What you can see over there is a few more rooms. This was originally planned to be the bedroom, but I later decided to make this room a bedroom since it's easier to access. And also I wanted to make it safe so no mobs can get there, and that was simply not possible with the room in the corner. That is my bedroom. I think since episode 10 to 15, where I entered the bedroom, I was sleeping there and skipping the night. These are my two skeleton horses, they were just from a random skeleton trap. Next on, we have my first ASGD, which produces the cosmic dust, as you can see. And I also have automated it via the flick of this lever, and that generates the cosmic dust. And if I want to make more elements, I just flick the switch, and this goes over to the clicker, which generates more elements. Also in this corner I have my pneumatic repressurized system, hard to get out of, but I have semi-automated it so that you only have to put in these logs, it is melted down. If I insert the update, which is not always on because some of the pipes may burst, I have the safety modules in the advanced air compressors, but I'm not too sure about it. Also the pressure chamber, yeah, it also has the security upgrade, but it only holds 5 bars. And this is, yeah, simple input and output. Oh, I have gold dust in here. And to make it a little bit prettier, I know it's very much cramped up in one place, but the pipe is wired beneath the floor. There I have my refinery where I put in raw oil or crude oil, as to say, and it makes me diesel, kerosene, gasoline and LPG. The LPG is needed in the thermopneumatic processing plant to make plastic, and there's also a setup there. This is just the heat frame to cool down the plastic faster. You can, of course, just pour it into the wild and it will also cool down, but that's just a much faster way. Then we have the PCB UV light box. So you put in the raw PCBs and you get empty PCBs out. And those empty PCBs are etched in the etching tank and later crafted, first in the crafting table and later with the assembly unit into finished circuits. Hold on. I like this tool because you can shoot through the glass. And this is the assembly line. As to speak of Pneumaticraft Repressurized, I really enjoyed the mod. It's a mod I haven't known before. I played some mod packs, mostly tech mod packs, but I haven't known it. And this is a 1.19.2 mod pack, so I think there's an older version of this. But it's really enjoyable playing around with pipes, and you can also automate it really really good. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, it's been a pretty long while since I looked at some of these systems, so I don't exactly know what I did there, but it works. And back to the mod. It was a bit tricky to figure out what to do next, because I think there is some way to automatically get the crude oil in and out of machines, but I haven't found it during the playthrough of the mod pack. But yeah, maybe some of you guys will know it. The next thing, of which I'm really proud of, is my periodic system of elements, and that was also a huge goal for me. Every time I have the mod, how is it called? Not ChemLib. Yeah, the mod with the elements, I think it's alchemistry. Every time a mod pack has alchemistry, I feel obliged to make a big periodic system of elements and collect just a few of them, or in this playthrough 512 of each of them. And the first few elements were pretty easy. You get them through the clicker and cosmic dust, and later on through EMC and the fusion controller or the fission controller. But these later elements, like productinium, for example, they don't have EMC. So I spent some time at the fusion controller or at the fusion machine just to try to get 512 of each element. Then you get the periodic system of elements as an item. That's what you get very early on in the pack, just to give an overview. And that's what actually caused me to make a periodic system of elements. I think it looks pretty neat, but maybe in some other mod pack I will make it bigger, or it is required to have lots and lots of the different elements. Maybe not something that has EMC on it, but yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Oh, and there is my smelting area. There's still some glass in there. Yes, I have prepared more than I needed for the house build and just left it there. Then a few blast furnaces, stonecutter which I stole from the purgatorium, chest with wheat and seeds and cacti and sugarcane, then also flux block to make flux dust, and an anvil. Just a little bit of extra workplace, since it didn't fit all in here. And not to forget the campfires, which were used as an early game source of furnaces. Then, not to forget, my old armor. Now I have the gem armor, which is just simply OP. I can fly like in creative mode and even faster than that. It's just OP. And after some time, I got it pretty easily, because EMC in this mod pack is generated pretty easily since you have the power flaws. Which there is a display over in the second floor. I will show it later. Back to my old armor. It has been enchanted with mending. Yeah, mending alone, so that it doesn't break. And I think it has some perks, but you do take damage with it, and during the Witherstorm fight I just wasn't sure if it's gonna last me. For example, in stage 2 for this mod pack, the Witherstorm was constantly pulling me to the top, and I wasn't sure if the armor is gonna last, since I can't prepare it if I'm getting pulled up most of the time. Then we have the command block pickaxe, and oh, as you can see, it has a glow effect to it. Didn't notice that before. But yeah, it's a very special item because, as in story mode, it's used to destroy the command block, and if you've seen my latest episode, it's a very powerful tool because the command block normally doesn't break, but as in story mode and in this mod pack, it's used to break the command block. I also did go for the pickaxe because it's my personal tool. I don't exactly like the idea of destroying a command block with a sword because I think the pickaxe is more suited for it. Fight me for it or don't. So, the first floor, there I have my reactor. I set this up because my RF farm from Padania wasn't doing that well with all the fusion crafting, and setting up a quick reactor is just the easiest way. And the reactor may have... Oh, the reactor has produced many ingots of cyanide. It is not needed in the mod pack, but if you let it run for long enough, you get many pieces of cyanide. And you may use them, but in this mod pack it wasn't needed. Then we have the fusion chamber, where I used to do all my element crafting from, I think, what was the element after uranium? Let me quickly look at it. Yeah, Neptunium was the first one to not have EMC, so everything from there on I used the fusion controller, and also the elements that were missing that I had not collected before. I got one of them and then used EMC for the rest. And also the fission chamber, I think I haven't used it, but you can, for example, get some elements like, if you send iridium through it, it will split into yttrium and strontium. You can get both of these elements by itself, but you can use it. I just found the fusion controller more reliable to get all the elements. Then we have the Mega Cosmic Dust Farm, which I simply automated with just a bit of redstone. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it does the job pretty well. Chests are all empty because I turned it off as it was causing a bit of lag. And yeah, it's pretty empty. Didn't expect it, because during the playthrough I was at over 10,000 cosmic dust. You can turn it on and off just like that. And every time it sends a bit of cosmic dust to these how are they called? Clicker machines. I haven't picked it up. To these clicker machines, and they use the cosmic dust and generate EMC from it. I have disconnected the chest because at some point in time the machine wasn't very useful because it didn't generate nearly as much EMC as the power flowers, but I think it's still pretty neat. And if I'm in need of some EMC, I left it there. It's also nice to look at. Now onto the second floor. There I wanted to do a power flower display. One of every power flower. I'm sure these simple ones, the basic power flower for example, doesn't generate nearly as much EMC as you can see in the left in the top left corner there, but I think it's still a good way to see how far we have come in the Modpack. And I use these blocks. I think they look great. Maybe a bit boring. I could have used other blocks, but as a simple display. And you can determine which power flow you're looking at just by looking at the block. And of course we got all the power flows from Mark 1 up to Mark 16, the final power flow, which is rainbow colored. And there's also another transmutation table, which I left there. I think we can collect it now, just to make it a little bit pretty. So before we move on, one quick thing I wanted to say. First off, I didn't want to do a voiceover because for one, the footage wasn't really suited, as I told you before. But other thing, it's just a bit more to do with having to edit audio and video, and it just would have taken me too long for this to be a project that I finish in my semester holidays. But I figured if I do a bit of voiceover, I might get better at speaking English, and sometime I might need it in my later job. So yeah, you probably heard it because I am not an English speaker. I don't come from England, I come from Austria, so I normally speak German. So it is a bit of how do I say it? A bit of an experiment how it would improve my speaking abilities with English. And it's also a great way to impress an interviewer if you can speak English, for example. Or at least I think it is so. Good, now to the attic. This is left empty because I didn't really have anything for it to hold, and it's just decoration, so that the house looks pretty. Good. Now let's look at the house from the outside, because I think the outside looks just a bit better as the inside. It's very technical inside, but I like the look. And I also found that the combination of purple and dark gray and spruce, by the way, is my favorite wood to build, as you might have guessed, next to oak, but sometimes it gets a bit boring just seeing those two, so I made a perimeter around. But as to say, the inside is really technical. Most of them, I guess all of the machines are inside, except for Botania. For Botania I have built a garden, and there I have my pedal apothecary, my flower pouch, and an angry zombie, skeleton. I think it's time to sleep, so they don't hurt us. Yeah, and what you also might have noticed, I sped up sleeping because it just gets boring if there is no voiceover. But now I will use the time while I'm sleeping to talk about some other things. How the channel will be in the future. So what I have planned is, since I want to get better at speaking English, I want to do a real Let's Play with voice lines, and I think you may be familiar with the channel Threefold, and I want to make my videos look a bit like his videos from the cutting and also the voice lines, and it's just an experiment to see how good it can be, but everything he does I can learn, I think. And if you're a viewer from Germany or speak German, you might also know the channel Skate702. He is a German YouTuber. I really appreciated his work in his older videos, and he played modpacks like Modern Skyblock 2 or 30 Infinity of Skyblock. Those were the modpacks that got me into Minecraft modded, and I've stayed ever since. Now back to Botania. Yeah, bit of a infinite water source. There is my mana farm. I think now it's not used because I have enough I have enough energy, and also the mana pools are filled. Terrestrial agglomeration plate. And there I tried automating the pure daisy, but it didn't work out the way I wanted to. I think there was a problem with the round robin sorting modifier, but I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I'm just too stupid for it. So, but anyway, would you stop bothering me? I didn't really use it that often because Botania was simply finished as I started building the garden, and I only ever used the mana pool with the different kinds of blocks underneath for blocks to convert, and yeah, that was an idea to make it interchangeable, but I haven't finished it and it worked out fine. No stuff in this chest. So anyway, the house from the outside. I really like the front because it's all glass and it's all structured very similarly. Oh, I think I forgot to build some of this. It would have given it a little bit more depth, but let's leave it there as it is. And I think the house turned out great because the accent of the, or it might not be an accent anymore because I mainly used dark types of wood with a little bit of oak inside, but I think it turned out great. I really like the look of wood in this game, and I will always try to build something with wood. It's just my style. The main thing that I dislike about wood is that it can burn very easily, so you can't, for example, put a cobblestone generator directly inside the house, but you have got ways to work around it. But otherwise, this is the first time I tried a slanted roof which isn't symmetrical, and I think it turned out great, as I might say. You guys can let me know in the comments down below what you think of it, but as a base, I think it is pretty neat. So now before we visit the other dimensions and the tunnel, quickly back to what I want to do with my channel. I have prepared a list of modpacks what I want to play next, and as you might have guessed it, the modpack that got me into playing modded FTP Infinity Wealth Skybook Expert mode, or the expert mode you can turn off and on. But that is a modpack that I want to play. I will give you a quick overview over what the modpacks I have selected will be like, or how long it will take me, and I would like to let you guys choose which modpack I play next. But I will give you a quick overview at the end. So, the tunnel, it's pretty simple, but I like it the way it is. It's similar to the mineshafts in Vanilla Minecraft, but I don't have the plank version, I have the log version, since you can farm wood very easily in this modpack, and I think it looks great. For example, the look down, it's just impressive, because you can walk forever, or fly in my case, and you won't get to the bottom very quickly. This is where I farm stone. I mostly left it as it is. And down at the bottom, before I forget, that's where I got my amethyst shards and a bit of gravel from this geode. I haven't used them, but I just wanted to collect it, see if they were any good for the modpack. Maybe I needed them in some way and I made it for another way, but I think it was a good trick to come down here. And also, like a thumbnail of, I don't know which episode it was, but the thumbnail of this, it was pretty epic. So let's move on. Down at the bottom, there is my farm for deep slate. it's structured in the exact same way as my farm for cobblestone. But what you also can find down below as you go to lower Y levels is tough. I haven't really used it, but just in, like in vanilla Minecraft. And also you are given access to the purgatory down below. So if you go below Y62, I think it is, you get teleported to the purgatory. So what I would recommend is that you make a waypoint at home so that you can teleport back, because there is no easy way out of the purgatory. Either you die or you can teleport back. And as you can see, it's quite a bit larger than a stone farm, mainly because it's not as high, but also because I needed way more deep slate in my build than cobblestone. There are the stairs, they were a bit expensive, but there are also the deep slate tile stairs, the walls, the floor, and everything else. So let's visit the purgatory. And with the purgatory, I don't think it was supposed to be used the way I used it, because as you can see in these houses, there are crates on the top which have various materials: iron, copper, some EMC materials, aluminium, and I mainly looted them because those were easier to access than doing a stack of iron dust in the compression chamber from a pneumatic repressurized hardware to get out. And I don't know if it was supposed to be like, or if it was supposed to a supposed way of cheating, but either way I did it, and you can't blame me for it. I think you have done the same. You can't do it otherwise, because as I said, you can get iron and copper and all the other things you need alone from pneumatic craft, but it's just an easy way. Down there I have my villager farm, villagers who I haven't talked to in a long while, still have some sticks in there, and they were used to get me coins, which I have a few left. Coins are used in purchasing the Almond Run tablet and the templates from there for the assembly. And I also used them to get some of the enchantments. So for example, yeah, this villager got sharpness 5. This villager has the mending book. For 14 coins, it's a really cheap trade, I think. In normal Minecraft, the cheapest you can get a mending book is for 10 emeralds. And since coins are valued more than emeralds, I think it's a really cheap trade. I think I got lucky there. And I used it for the terrestrial armor. And also a bit of ledgers to get the coins. And another way I use the purgatory is, as you can see in the top right map, there sometimes are these lava patches, if I can find one. There. And I use them to get obsidian, because it's just an easy and quick way. Sorry if in some of the recordings the Philosopher's Stone was too loud, but it does make this annoying noise, and I don't know how to turn it off. So I think I got it in the editing, but I'm not sure if I missed any of it. So yeah, of course, this can also be considered a bit of cheating, because they spawn there. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but I used it for obsidian nonetheless. And the obsidian are mainly used for the Herculean flux storage, and not for much more. But you can consider it cheating if you like to. The next thing of which a purgatory is used for is for mining crude oil. Because some way or another you have to get crude oil, and I think it was supposed to be, because I looked at the recipes and found no other way to get crude oil. That, I think, was supposed to be at the bottom of the purgatory. So I have a little bit of a setup there, some air compressors and gas lift, which is currently full of crude oil. but you can extract it via bucket or via the tank, and that I used for getting plastic. Down at the bottom there's also some magma blocks, and if you go too deep down you enter the nether, or as it is called, the inferiors underworld. That's where I used to farm a bit of netherrack, as you can see here, and they were angry. And also a bit of netherwood just to cover up my refinery, because it needs to have a bit of covered up space. So the other thing you can find in inferiors or in the nether is of course netherite. You need at least one, or I think you can get tungsten out of stone, if I can remember correctly. But the easiest thing is you mine for one piece of ancient debris, and you throw it in the dissolver and get tungsten and use EMC for the rest of it. And one stupid thing I did do is I blew a bit of netherrack away with TNT. It took too long for that I only found like 3 pieces of ancient debris, but it was fun nonetheless, and it would have been the vanilla way if there wasn't EMC. And as you can see, it's pretty boring in these tunnels, and let's move on from there. Then basalt, and further down blackstone. And I think in my creative test world, once I dug down to the bottom, I died, but once you unlock this, you can get to the end. It looks very disastrous now, because the Wither Storm absorbed nearly all of it, but it's still looking okay. Maybe if you want to build something in the end, you let the Wither Storm roam and collect all of its blocks, and then maybe you kill it, but I moved somewhere else because it was just a bit tiresome to wait. That's also something you should use in this mod pack, because it makes some things much more easier. That's where I killed the Wither Storm. You can see a bit of it there. So yeah, that's where I killed the Wither Storm, and as you can see, there is still a bit of it lying around. Bit of tainted flesh, but I will talk about the fight later. But all in all, it was a fun fight, but I don't think it was suited for this mod pack, since it took a really long. I don't think it was a problem on my part, but it could be that it was intended to take long and I just was too impatient for it. Thank God he didn't summon it at stage 1 of the mod, as I think it was stage 4 or 5 which the fight started, because it would have taken too long otherwise. And I don't know if it was an error at my part, but I didn't get it to evolve. The second stage of this mod pack I did get after a very long time of waiting, and I read it on the internet that you have to wait for a very long time and also annoy it by giving it damage. And I did all that, and it still wasn't evolving, so yeah. I think it was bugged for me. If you played the mod pack yourself and you found out otherwise, go tell me if I did something wrong. But I ended up respawning it. You can see it in the recording which commands I use, and then it worked. Or at least I teleported myself to the bowels, the final stage, because it didn't seem like to be evolving, and I ended the fight this way. It was still an epic fight though, and I would recommend to play the Wither Storm mod. Maybe it wasn't suited for this mod pack, but for a normal playthrough, of course. It has the element of never letting you rest, because it follows you everywhere you go. You might have seen it in my playthrough, but at one point I moved to the outer islands and it followed me at a very quick pace, I have to say. And then I resumed the fight over there. Now to my honest review of the mod pack, and what I really liked about the Modpack is its start and its unpredictability, because you get thrown into a world of nothingness. Maybe I can show it to you. But you get thrown in this world of nothingness, and at first it seems like you get to build a universe out of the elements you collect from this nothingness. But then, once you get the Earth, everything changes, because then you have a normal Minecraft playthrough. And there's still some elements flying around. You can get those from this nothingness, of which you can create cosmic dust. It's all in the first episode. That what's cool about the Modpack is the first quests. Maybe I can show it if I have the quest book, or maybe not. I think I put it away. But the first quests look really good in this Modpack, and it's also very fun to play through it, because those are some mods I didn't know before. Yeah, and I know the mod Alchemistry. I don't know the exact name of the Modpack, but the main theme of it was Alchemistry, and it was really fun. And I like to see this in this Modpack. And the first few quests, as I said, were really fun. The mid-game, I call it mid-game of where I first started to build a house, or you can call it, I think it's called the Primal Age or the Industrial Age. It was also really fun, because I got to experience mods like Numericraft Repressurized for the first time. And yeah, I don't think I have it anywhere. I think I might have lost it or thrown it away. Maybe I can, but yeah, forget about it. That's what I really like, the quests, and also the beginning of EMC. But after that, it just got a bit boring. I don't know if the Modpack author intended it to be in the final version. I don't know if there's an update, because, as I said, I played the Modpack in last summer. That was 8 months ago. Maybe he pushed out an update. But the end game is just you have to get the power flower, you have to farm EMC a bit, get the next power flower, and so on and so on. And it just gets boring after a bit of time. And for the last power flower, you have to farm a ridiculous amount of EMC, which I achieved by having, I think, 2 stacks of the white power flower, of the fading power flower, my apologies, laying around and sleeping for a few nights. And it wasn't really the best form of entertainment, but it was fun nonetheless. See, it's just like the intention of a clicker game, to see your factory evolve and make numbers go bigger. That was the fun aspect of it. And what I also want to talk about, in the mid-game, the automation. I think it was mostly by my part that I haven't figured out how to automate some things, like for example the Pure Daisy automation. I think there are lots of other ways to do it, mainly because Botania itself is a very automatable mod. Automatable? I think you say automatable. And yeah, I didn't really bother, because I didn't use Botania as much as I would have hoped to in this Modpack. Botania is a very cool mod, but the automation lacks a bit. And what I also wanted to talk about is that you have a great option of building blocks. Once you start to get the Philosopher's Stone, your first sapling, and so on, you can get any type of wood you want. You can get the 2 stone types of the overworld, cobblestone and deep slate, also tough, and the other blocks. And that's a very good palette to start building. And also these lights, the argon lamps, they look amazing, I think, next to deep slate. So, now to the last topic of this video. I will let you guys choose what modpack I should play next. if you have skipped there with the timestamp, the Modpack review is something I would also like to show you, but if you're just here for what Modpack I should play next, I have a few selections. For example, like I said, FTP Infinity Vault Skyblock. It's a rather long modpack. I estimate it to be around 600 to 1000 hours of playtime for me. And for you, it's gonna be a lot shorter because I want to make this an actual let's play with more cuts, time lapses, and so on. And it is very technical and also has magic elements in it. And it's a Skyblock modpack, which means there is lots of technical parts, lots of automation. I will use either refined storage or applied energistics too. You have to use it because you can't do it all by hand. And that also means I will do less building. If you like the building aspect of this playthrough, or you like building in general, then I have my second suggestion. It is Farming Valley. I don't think anybody has a completed playthrough of the modpack. I have looked at any of the replays, not to spoil myself, but I think it would be a refreshing modpack because it's not as technical as the other ones on this list, and it would also be in the overworld or in a normal world. That means I get to more building. And the aspects of it are mostly vanilla and also a bit of magic, technique, a bit of something. And I estimate it to be around 200 to 300 hours of playtime for me, and like 60 to 100 episodes. So if you'd like to see this modpack, go for it. The next suggestion I have is Multiblock Madness. It's also a very long modpack. I estimate it to be about 500 to 800 hours. It's very technical and also has a bit of magic, and it would be in the normal world. That means, as I said, more building and also strong focus on the technical stuff and automation, because the multi-blocks you use to progress through the modpack. I think what I saw from CurseForge, it has many technical mods, so automation will play a big game in it. Then the next modpack I have is the Galaxy project. It just looked interesting to me. I think it's around 300 to 600 hours of playtime. It's also a very technical modpack, and it's a Skyblock modpack. The next thing is Divine Journey. You may have seen some playthroughs of Divine Journey. That's why I put it this low in this list, because I think I'm not the best creator out there. So if you want to watch a playthrough, I would recommend Threefold, because he showed me this modpack and it looked really fun and I wanted to play it myself sometime. But if you want me to play it, I will do so greatly, because I'm really interested and I haven't looked at everything what Threefold did. Maybe watched the first few episodes, and I want to experience the modpack myself. And as for the Galaxy project, the fourth one I mentioned, I think there are no playthroughs of the modpack. So if you want to see something new, I can play through that. The next project is Dimension Hopper. It is also a really long modpack. It will take around 6 to 1000 hours of completing it. I estimated some numbers pretty high because I'm not the fastest at playing through modpacks, but it will also be a bit technical, has more of an exploration aspect as in Divine Journey 2, and it will also play in a normal world. And then to finish the modpacks, I also have some suggestions about Omnifactory, which would be my first introduction to CorrectTech. I placed it this low on this list because it's a very technical modpack and I don't think the channel will be suited for this. Then Synthetic Ages, or Ages of the Sky, my apologies, which sounds really interesting, especially Ages of the Sky, and I really like the sky aspect of it and how it would be implemented. And at last, Starblock, which is a modpack based on Astral Sorcery. I don't like the mod Astral Sorcery too much, but there is no reason I wouldn't play it. And as I said before, any other modpacks you you would like me to play through. It could be your mod packs, it could be some other mod packs from smaller creators. I will gladly accept any suggestions you guys want me to play. And yeah, but keep it safe for YouTube. So no shitty mod packs, no Jenny mod or something like that. Or I may have to put it in another way, no mod packs of where I have to quit just after downloading and playing for the first episode, because it's just not good as a mod pack. Oh yeah, and before I forget about it, I also want to show you my stats, which I think are most interesting, because I think there was one stat, interactions with a crafting table, which were at 999, and I pushed it to 1000 just for it to be there. But let's look through it. Barrels opened, that was for the looting phase in the purgatory. Chests opened, mainly my main storage. Damage dealt, that is something you accumulate over the playthrough. Distance climbed, distance sprinted, and so on. What I think is really interesting is games quit, because I don't remember there being as much recordings of it, but maybe it counted some of the others. Some interactions, yeah, there it is, interactions with crafting table 1000 times, and it was at 999 as I finished the pack, and I pushed it up to 1000 just for it to be a high number. Interactions with campfire 797. Let's leave it at 797. It's a really good number. Interactions with furnace also a bit. Items dropped, jumps, yeah. Some of the basic stuff, mob kills, raider kills. Yeah, the raiders were very annoying. I don't think you can use them in any way, but yeah, I just killed them all, and you can't keep the effect for as long. I don't think there is a raid in a purgatory. I haven't tried it out yet, but yeah, maybe you guys can try it out. Now onto the time played, 2.83 days, which is approximately 70 hours, so that's what you can expect from this mod pack. Maybe a bit less, because I spent most of the time building, so around 40 to 50 hours of game time. That's the time you can expect to play through the mod pack. I think there is also something about how many times I have died. Then onto the items. I think most interesting is times mined and times broken or times used. Times mined, stone and deep slate, netherrack of course. Then also 809 spruce logs, which is a bit misleading, because you just have to mine the bottom block for 30 to 36 times. Then it breaks the whole tree for it to be 300 logs at one time. So it is a bit misleading. We will see it in the times placed, or you can see it there. Picked up times used, 17,000 logs I have picked up over the playthrough, which mostly went into charcoal and building my house. Yeah, and some of the other stacks, 416 fading power flowers I have broken. Yeah, that's how many I used to get the last power flower. So what I would also like to know is times crafted. Yeah, bronze coin just from villages alone, and also sticks. And also spruce planks for the sticks, oak planks for the house, oak slabs, polished deep slate, and so on. These were mostly the blocks I used for the house. Also 3000 coal. Then times used, my terra seal, all in one tool, 22,000 times. My other tool doesn't show up here, but the white harvester, nearly 9,000 times. Picked up, yeah, mostly just spruce log. And also the glue one, down quark and up quark. The electron, cosmic dust is up there. Dropped, yeah, mostly netherrack, because I didn't need it. Now to the mobs. Let's look at how many times I've been killed. Creeper killed me 2 times, enemy killed me 1 time, that's 3 times. Skeleton 3 times, that's 6 times in total. Zombie 3 times is 9 times in total. That's about it. So around 10 deaths. I think I'm not the best at keeping myself alive, but I did play it in hard mode because it's just more fun that way. And statistic, yeah, I killed 178 Endermen. Another thing is, yeah, 8 wandering craters. They just kept spawning. 212 zombies. Yeah, that's about it. 1 wither storm, which was the end boss, Bloviator. I don't know what that would be, but yeah, that's about it. So, that, guys, will be it for this episode. And just let me know what you liked about this pack or which pack I should play next. And yeah, this will be it. If you don't like something about my voice or something it bothers you, you can also put it down in the comments. If you got any feedback about the pack, as I said, or if you got any suggestions on how I should make this channel bigger or better, you can, of course, message me in the chat, in the comments down below. And yeah, that's it. So, have a great time, and we'll see you in the next playthrough. Bye!